welcome to Dire Bear. It's Tuesday night, so of course that means we're playing Operation Aegis, our Lancer actual play. I'll be your storyteller for the evening, Jason, and with me as usual will be Patrick playing Freddy, Eric playing Uriah, Jeremy playing Cortev, Sarah playing Vika.
I am waving.
I was going to assume so. And Cara playing Tiana. And who remembers where we left off last week?
We did manage to escape with the big boy intact, i.e.
The truck?
The Barbarossa.
Oh, no. Yeah.
No, the the Barbarossa, yeah.
The Barbarossa, yes.
Well, he was in no danger of being unintacted. He was just in danger of potentially being left behind.
I made sure he was not.
He is not a speedy one, your Barbarossa. But yes, you made your escape. Got out with some prisoners. Got out with your support vehicle. And all the readings your science guys had made of the paracausal activity and Kaliakra.
And the paracausal dude.
No, the dude's still there.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, they took readings of him.
Yeah. The dude can't leave under his own power. You can't make the dude.
He abides.
Mm-hmm.
You can't make me.
The crater really brings the room together, man.
So y'all have gotten back to base. And it was a harrowing flight from the city. Y'all were pursued for a while by more enemy forces. But eventually you got close to your own forces met it with you once you were getting close to the border.
Mm.
And the cultists had to pull off.
Yeah, Uriah kamikazed his mech.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Mm-hmm.
And then basically hitched a ride with Tiana the rest of the way back, I think.
Tiana and Orvika.
Well, I know Tiana had the extra seat in her mech.
Yeah, we just kind of put him in Tiana's.
Yeah, he was either in there or he was on the shoulder of Vika's mech, just riding along.
No, but you got back. Jellicoe met you. Congratulated you on the mission. Well done. Obviously he's expecting 4 reports, but that can wait till tomorrow. You look like you could use some sleep, and definitely a shower.
Yeah.
So I think most of you just kind of washed and crashed out after that. So the next day you're up. Of course, Jellicoe's expecting his report, some point during the day. I believe Charlie Wayne was there to greet you when you got there.
Where's the rest of the team? Oh, I'm sorry, this is me. Sorry.
Well, if you remember, Charlie Wayne had that busted leg.
Oh, yeah.
So he's off duty at the moment. The rest of the team is off on a mission, being backed up by Melody and Audrey. So they're kind of filling in for Charlie Wayne's loss. Which means he's sitting around the base bored, just waiting for this leg to heal up. Which isn't going to take much longer. Broken bones are healed a lot quicker than we'd be used to. So Charlie hasn't really got much longer that he's got to hobble around on this cast.
Yeah.
Did they at least manage to get him a camouflage or bright orange cast?
I remember one of y'all asking the doctors about that, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I believe they got him a bright orange one.
That tracks.
So y'all have the day more or less free, other than you got to turn in your reports.
Mhm.
I'll send the report first thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we go do the report and then finish up the coffin drone for a set.
Okay. And that was the project you were working on, I think.
Yeah, I started it last time. This time I would just get an auto 10, auto complete on it.
Yeah, I was about to say. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking you would be finished. And you were doing one kind of like Cocaine Rabbit have, right? Where it's the little hovering drone. It does the hologram.
Yeah, she picked Tiana's brain about the plans and everything on it.
Yeah. So she gave the blueprints to Vika to use.
So not a real physical body like Freddy built for Whip.
No.
All right. Let me get to
Thunder.
downtime action.
Thunderbolt and lightning, very, very frightening me.
Mhm.
And that's all we can sing.
Don't get us a copyright strike.
I was
Ooh,
gonna
like-
say.
I mean, I don't know how much danger we're really in from that, but
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
It's as far as I'm going with it.
Figaro.
Those out of places. Fine.
I didn't do it.
You could
Everyone has
possibly get around one by referencing Thundar the Barbarian. Thundar, feel the Thundar.
I don't know. I think that opens up a whole new one.
possibly. All right. So you'll have a day free. What are you doing in your downtime? We'll start with Vika.
Does a report, finishes up the.
Oh, that's right. That'd be
Uh,
that would
holographic.
take that would take.
It would take a good part of the day. She will eventually, at some point, hunt down her brother and be like, "Hey,
Hmm.
just a real quick question. What the fuck?"
You're gonna need to narrow that down.
Yeah, fair. The exploding of the mech you literally just built.
Oh, yeah, that. There was multiple factors to that. I don't know if you want the whole list or not.
You can give me the abbreviated and go into detail later. Send me the report and kind of like grinning.
I will smack you. Now, abbreviated version. We had the spare fusion core, a fusion core, and well, 2 fusion cores basically going off. Is a big enough nuclear detonation to attract anyone's attention. So it's either the cult would have to contend with both nations converging on that spot, or leave and give us some breathing room, so they were chasing us down the whole way back. And also I started seeing what Harrison Armory meant with that code base that we found.
The whole lashing out bit.
Yeah. Took some decoding, but apparently any survivors of that test base required extensive conditioning, implants, and a cocktail of neurological suppressants to keep being pilots.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yeah. So detonated the mech in nuclear fire.
As one does.
And I just got done deleting the design from the printers in the base. So the only copy is in my head. And then I'll just let it die with me.
Or at some point, you'll try and fiddle with it and decode it into something usable, knowing you.
Yeah, whatever.
Leaning over, poking his forehead. You need to go talk to someone about this. Someone, not me. Because I will freely murder people for you. You know this.
I don't know.
And Angelica will not get off your back if you don't.
We'll see.
A little blackmail to sweeten the pot.
Why?
You do this, then you can pick something horrible I have to do. I'll let you think on that.
You go drag Sulky McSulker butt out on a date.
I was about
That-
to say.
That's fucking blackmail. That's not equivalent.
You just said I could have blackmail to sweeten the pot, and I'm using it.
That's
Vika.
That's diabolical and unfair.
Vika. One of us.
I know
needs
where
to
you sleep.
Find some happiness. I'm gonna die alone at this point. I know that.
You have plenty of people that are pretty much family. You're not dying alone. Over dramatic bastard.
Go ask him out. Go on a date. Vika.
We have to give reports. Well,
Older brother privileges. Do it.
flipping him off. I'll put it in the docket.
Do it before the day is up, and I will go talk to the doc.
Eyes narrowed. If the possibility arises, I will. You're under orders to go to the dock. I won't.
I'm not
Still
actually.
flipping him off. No, you are.
No, I'm not. He never said that I was ordered to go. He just suggested it.
The suggestion is order.
I never heard the words order come out of his mouth.
I can go ask him.
Go ahead.
Eyes narrowing. Now you're just playing both sides. I'm gonna go finish up Asset's drone.
You do that.
I'm gonna and like walking off.
All right, Carl, what is Tiana doing with her downtime?
Kai is actually going to try and upgrade her drones for Koke and Rabbit. And she's basically going to make it to where they can interact with actual objects instead of just being data.
What has she got? A knife.
basically like making them hard light, like the drones become backpacks, or they could swap in and just continue being small avatars if they wanted to.
Okay.
So she's gonna do that. Rule.
You're giving the drones
Unfortunate.
manipulators.
Yeah, pretty much.
Clink, clink, clink.
Okay, just roll a 20. You finish your project before the next mission. If it's especially complex, treat this as a 10 to 19. So I'll leave that decision up to you, sir.
Hard light holograms. That
Yeah.
seems pretty complex.
Okay. I'll 10 to 19. So I'm going to choose quality materials and specific knowledge or techniques.
Okay.
So next time I just succeed.
So yeah, so you're using the base's workshops, obviously. So you spend the day tinkering on the design and calling up like experts.
Yeah.
You know, getting reading research, getting info from experts when you can.
Getting passwords for the paywall journals.
Freddy leans over. No, that one, and then leans back.
I just can't help but wonder, Tiana shared the designs with Vika, and now she's got to run over and make hers better, so they still look better.
Well, no,
Still-
no, that's not what she's doing.
Mhm.
She was wanting to work on them anyway,
It's like
but
it's like she had an iPhone, and then Vika got an iPhone, so now she had to
she'll
go and get a
share
better
it with
iPhone.
her.
No,
She'll
Vika
share it
does
with
not
her.
quite. She trusts the set, but she does not want to. She knows enough about Horus to know maybe letting a Horus based NHP have physical body as outside of the mech maybe might not be a good idea at this time, considering everything they're dealing with.
So untrusting.
She never says any of this out loud.
So untrusting. Like a set's not
Yeah,
going to pick up on the fact that mom doesn't trust her.
Hey, Mom got her a nice new car.
It just happens to have a GPS inside of it, so we know where she is at all times.
Exactly.
She just happens to have to blow into the breathalyzer before it'll start. That's all.
I'm also gonna hilariously say that they get to pick like their heights, and they're obviously gonna both pick to be taller than Ty. It's just like really.
Well, taller than Ty is not hard.
Like average.
No,
human
it's
height.
not. It's not.
Or maybe
With the
maybe Ty lies about her height. And they really put themselves where they were supposed to be as tall as her. Only, she exaggerates by a couple inches how tall she is, so they ended up being tall. I got a buddy he said his mom would claim 5 foot, but he doesn't. Him and his dad don't believe it for a minute.
If it's the buddy I'm thinking about, I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, probably so. But okay, so you're working on that, and you've more or less got the plans worked out by the end of the day, and you have to stop at some point to make sure your report's up to snuff.
Yep. She'd do that first before she started working on the drones again, though.
Whichever way around it is, then.
Yep.
Patrick, what is Freddie doing in his downtime?
Well, probably I'm going to do 2 things, and that's the downside of me being gone the week that I wanted to ask that guy questions. I will actually do research on the individual, because we know how he basically joined the cult. But I'm going into more into this side's what's kind of like life like in Shinar. I'm trying to remember. It's more almost like the trade baronies. That's actually kind of why they do a lot of business with each other.
Well, I don't know if I'd say like the trade baronies, other than you have a class of nobles. You have nobility over there. It's kind of a constitutional monarchy sort of setup, though. People have certain rights and stuff, but
probably more Victorian England.
Kind of. You have a certain level in the government that the people kind of have a say in who gets in there. But the very, very tip top, it's a hereditary position. They're a little more overt with their use of power than like the royal family in England is these days.
Yeah. No, because
the standard of living's about the same as the league. Standard of living's pretty good. as long as you're not anywhere near the actual war zone.
Yeah, because this is me doing, like, because there was a great researcher who found out, she basically studied the myriad, like, people who had joined various terrorist organizations. Their reasons for joining were always just as varied. But the reasons they all left is because, well, they weren't who they say they were. And I'm trying to figure out what would actually cause, if this guy was just a regular citizen, what made him join the cult? What drove him there?
All right, fair point.
Because if you can figure out basically how they're recruiting people...
And just to be sure, you are talking about the freaky guy.
Yes.
Okay.
Because we did get his name, we did get his information, because we actually found, like, he had, like... Because essentially we found out he has, like, basically like a college student, and then he started going down that path.
Mm-hmm. I know. I wrote his name down.
Amon. Or Iman.
Amon.
Iman, yeah.
Well, I mean, you spell it I-man. But... that's right, because I named it after a gaming buddy of mine. All right, let me see. I guess that would be gather information.
Yes.
All right, so you've named your subject, and your method is just digging through public records.
Yeah, we're grit +5 now. Gotta remember that.
And this would be... The only heaty thing about this is a lot of this would be digging into records on the Mat Shinar side. So there might be some kind of hacking and stuff involved.
All right.
So go ahead and give me a roll on that.
21.
Just roll a 20. All right, so you get what you're looking for with no complications. So you don't leave any traces behind where the Shinar realize you're investigating this guy for some reason. All right, so you can use information gained as reserves.
Yeah, most of mine really aren't reserves. They're just hints and various other things.
Yeah.
It's story beats is what I'm digging for, really.
Info reserves on Amon. I think it is pronounced Amon. Okay. So you're digging through about him, and yeah, you see, grew up, college, started off with some, going to some protests, being part of some kind of, not anti-government exactly, but a group that wasn't necessarily happy with some of the decisions the government had been making. He had lost some family. What might have pushed him towards the cult was, the cult are very pro-Shinar, just not the current Shinar government. And he had lost some people. Amon had lost some family in the previous war. And a lot of people on the Shinar side were not happy with the peace that was reached last time. They kind of felt like they gave up too much, or that not. The general consensus was that it had accomplished nothing. That the concessions they made at the end to kind of to end the thing
The last war is what led to the next war.
Sort of. It's definitely what led to some of the tensions. That, might or might not have boiled over on their own at some point, but then the cult got involved. And the cult does a lot of talking about, kind of fixing Mat Shinar and then spreading that off to the rest of the world. And you have lots of other, specific information on it that if it ever becomes useful, you can use as a reserve.
And the other thing I was looking at, I'm doing, and I don't know if this would be more research or not, but he said one of the actual goals was to take the planet out of the equation. Essentially.
Oh yes, trying to protect the planet from. Well, he worded it like the War of the Gods, basically.
Yep.
And it's, he left you with the impression, or at least the impression I was trying to leave with him, was that he was perfectly aware that the gods were unshackled NHPs. He just didn't see where that distinction meant anything. What did you think gods would be? Sort of thing.
Uh-huh.
But yes, he seemed to be of the opinion that Ninurta was trying to shield this world from being drawn further into that conflict.
And now this is where I don't know if it's going to be get creative or analyze. Being that we were drawn here with the information, they were trying to build I want to say it's Riftgate. That's the actual
Blinkgate.
Basically the Blinkgate, yeah. If taking it out of the equation, how big of a gate would they need to tastefully transport a planet? Obviously one bigger than the planet.
Yeah, considering the difficulties, complexities, and resources involved in building a Blinkgate, period, you couldn't imagine somebody being able to pull off one that you could pass a planet through. Never mind the size for it to fit. You've got to deal with all that gravity and stuff going on.
Yeah, because I'm also just trying to essentially, Freddy's trying to figure out Ninurta's end goal. Or at least a means of basically how would this actually work? This is why I'm getting creative. This is just base brainstorming.
Yeah. These are sort of things. This is just the things Freddy's pondering, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
celestial objects can be taken because Ra took Deimos. Or was it Phobos? It was Deimos, wasn't it?
Deimos.
Yeah. Yeah, because essentially with him, when it was still Minette 2, basically the thing before it became Ra, we had it basically more or less shackled in Deimos, realized it couldn't get out of the prison, so it just took the prison with it.
All right.
Because in a lot of ways, I'm looking at really possibilities, but this is one that's probably more brainstorming with the group. I don't know.
Okay. But most of the day, you know, this
I still write my report and.
Oh yeah. Yeah, but most of the real work you put in today is tracking down more information on Amon. Then we will jump over to Cortev.
I willed it into existence. Kortev does his report, like completes his report, just sends it out.
That's not what I did.
Kortev is going to get organized.
Oh, what's that one do?
I am establishing an organization. Now, to be clear, Kortev will not be the in charge person. There's going to be like a person that he has, like spreading the word. But he is,
Figurehead, a scapegoat,
Yeah.
a fall guy.
yes,
Kortev is. I'm not saying it's a cult, but
Whoa.
It is
Less of a cult, more of an Illuminati.
it is a political organization that happens to be called the Open Eye. Leave it alone. The purpose of this organization is to get awareness out to get public opinion on the current endless cycle of war, and if the average person knows that, I mean, frankly, the current war is an exercise in futility, which is why he's not the person in charge, because he would obviously be biased towards union interests. But he wants to organize it and get people, like, give them resources, whatever they may need.
Okay.
It's
Now, are
as
you
far as
going
I
out doing
know,
this in
not a
person?
role.
Or are you doing this kind of online?
Online.
Okay. Are you focusing on one particular state? Or one
Honestly,
nation?
probably more Mat Shinar than our state,
Than league?
than league. Yeah. That's not to say he won't, talk to people in the Theremin League, but like Mat Shinar is the group that feels like they have more ground to gain in something like this than the league.
All right. Let's see.
I don't think it's a role. It had me choose between starting with efficiency or influence. I chose efficiency.
All right. So efficiency.
So I have a +2 to efficiency, which says how directly effective your organization is at what it does. Efficiency can be used to perform activities related to your organization's purpose. You can use these advantages as reserves.
All right. And the focus would be military, scientific, academic, cultural, humanitarian, industrial, entertainment, or political. All right. Political sounds like that makes sense.
interesting.
When
It's
your
effectively going to be a bunch of protests.
When your organization directly assists with an activity, you may add either efficiency or influence as a statistic bonus to your skill check. Efficiency is used when the performing activities related to your organization's focus. Influence is used when acquiring assets, creating opportunities, or swaying public opinion. Advantages gained from the help of your organization can be used as reserves. Each downtime after the first roll. So you wouldn't do that this time, but I'm going to go over it. I'm going to go over it anyway.
Sure.
So on a 9 or less, choose one of your organization. Choose one, or your organization folds immediately. Lose efficiency and influence to a minimum of 0. If you both agree you may not choose this, your organization needs to pay debts, make an aggressive move, or get bailed out. 10 to 19, your organization is stable. It gains +2 efficiency or influence. On a 20 plus, your organization gains +2 efficiency and influence to a maximum of +6. Okay.
All right. I like it.
So even if you're not necessarily using get organized, it's like every time you do a downtime, you have to check to see how the organization is doing.
Yep. I like it.
Okay, that'll work.
I will also keep that in mind. Yeah. So it's gonna start as like low tier protests in like both Mat Shinar and the league, but mostly in Mat Shinar. Yeah. You guys don't hear from Kortev until they call him again. he'll respond to messages, but like he's like, oh yeah, I'm just I'm busy. I'm just been real busy.
What's the name of your organization?
The Open Eye.
What's Hortev doing? Stuff. Things.
He sends like a selfie. He's like, I'm alive, guys. I promise.
What's with all these giant eye masks? Nothing.
Don't worry about it. The first lesson is about like effective protesting. So it's like wear a mask, wear eye protection,
Don't take your ID card. Don't take
don't take any ID,
yeah. Put your cell phone into a security code.
take your data pad off of retinal scan.
Yep.
Take these glass bottles, fill them with a flammable liquid. Take a rag.
That's the second lesson.
Have fun.
Just on a chalkboard somewhere in the world is the like chemical compounds of thermite.
These... No. What have you been doing, Kortev? Writing a cookbook. Why do you ask?
The only problem is you say it's the Open Eye, and I'm picturing Bill Cipher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking Gravity Falls too. So I think technically the cult you had in that was the Sightless Eye.
Yeah.
The ones that go around and erase people's memories.
Still.
Oh, you can't see it. But my D20 has an eyeball for the D20 face.
Nice.
So at this point, your organization is more of a loose knit group in like the equivalent of a chat room, or
yeah. I'm like more or less training my number two.
We will come up with a name and personality for your number two later.
Sick.
Now, Uriah, after your conversation with your sister, what do you get up to?
Well, he's going to. First, he's going to go check on the Atlas. Make sure that's all running smoothly, and then he stares at it for a second and goes, "The heck?" Checks his licenses.
Are you like looking at the code?
Yeah.
There is a phrase that you see in the code.
Okay.
Up, dog.
I don't feel like this is deserved, but I feel like this is deserved in some fashion.
Click this link.
Mm-hmm.
Takes him to Rickle.
Congratulations, you won.
Yeah.
Then
Then he's just gonna go.
Copyright.
Screw it. I'm gonna go do something else. And then he's going to. I'm gonna do. What's it called? Gather information.
No, it's called.
I'm going to
Up, dog.
utilize. Shut up. I'm going to utilize hack from hack fix.
Okay.
And he is going to try to gather as much information as he can get a hold of on Ninurta.
On the cult itself, on the deity himself, or on the mythological version?
On the deity.
See, this is... If only we could work together, because Freddy's already done that. Go on.
Alright, so you're trying to figure out stuff about the actual...
Yep.
And you're doing hack fix, so clearly you're hacking wherever you need.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, give me a roll on it.
Okie dokie. There it is. Okay. Okay. 27.
Okay. So you start off by going into, the stuff you actually have access to. But frankly, you guys have run into Ninurta stuff more than anybody else.
Mhm.
So a lot of what you're seeing at first is just your own reports.
Okay.
Then you dig a little deeper, and you start digging into some areas on the base that maybe you're not allowed to dig into, technically.
Mm-hmm.
And you start finding where Union has been doing a lot of research trying to figure out what Ninurta is.
Mm-hmm.
There had been some investigations into the cult prior to your arrival,
Mm-hmm.
but it wasn't a priority. It was something they knew the Shinar were having to deal with periodically.
Yeah.
And initially they were looking into it as, hey, if we could get in contact with these guys, if they're doing anti-Shinar stuff on that side, it's something to distract, the opponent with.
Yeah.
No, you don't find anything where they ever actually succeeded in getting in contact with the cult.
Okay.
And then once y'all started having y'all's encounters with them, yeah, the cult was not somebody they were interested in dealing with anymore.
Fair.
Since your involvements, though, since the stuff you have found out,
Mm-hmm.
they've also started doing a lot of research onto basically where Ninurta could have come from. Going with the safe assumption that it's an unshackled NHP.
Mm-hmm.
Who let it get unshackled, and who had created a powerful enough one that this could be an issue? Because not every NHP that becomes unshackled can do like the stuff Ra does.
Mm-hmm.
Not all of them can run off and be their own mech company like Horus did.
Yeah.
So they're poking around now trying to find out if the League or if the Shinar might have been doing kind of, some dangerous experiments with NHPs.
Mm-hmm. Watch it be the NHP that was like on the colony ship that landed here.
That might, if it was, that might explain its desire to protect the planet.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's kind of
even if how it wants to protect the planet may be a little deranged.
And that, and also you have to factor in because NHPs occurred, I want to say early SecCom, but then again,
that's true. So the original colonization efforts, they probably wouldn't have been around.
Yeah. Because SecCom was the ones that found Ra, and then Ra let itself be known.
Yeah.
So if they found Ra, that means they didn't make him, though.
No, they didn't.
Which means it quite possibly it was pre-Union stuff that was being worked on, and then everything fell apart.
Yeah, I know a lot of the lore, so I could go more into that. But yeah,
and they have successfully found a couple of research facilities that were destroyed in the first League Shinar War.
Mm-hmm.
That either one of them could potentially have been doing NHP research.
Okay.
But lots of records got destroyed in that one, and in that war. So they've yet to discover specifically what either one of those facilities was researching.
Okay.
And they have made inquiries to the League, and the League is supposed to be investigating it on their own, but they haven't gotten much information back from the League about any of this.
So, during the course of his absolutely going where he's not supposed to be going to get this information, following that rabbit trail, can he then start pivot into the league's stuff and start pulling information from them to try to get more.
Let's see. You were searching specifically for information on Ninurta.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be a logical part of this search.
Okay.
So once you branch out and start into, potentially international incident level territory, what are they gonna do? Fire me? So you start hacking into some of their systems.
I mean, the thing is, you get your information cleanly with no complications. So
Yeah, that's kind of how I managed to get away with so much. I want to say only my first one was actually the one where I had complications.
But well, and y'all getting to like the grit levels and stuff. It's getting harder and harder for y'all to just fail outright anyway.
Yeah.
So the league is the name was on the league's radar before this war started. They were aware of the cult from very early on. In the early days, they had given the cult some resources.
Okay.
Now, at the time, they were looking at this cult as they were just looking at it as a political movement. They didn't, realize quite how culty it got, and at that point, its protests and stuff were not as violent. So it was just kind of, our enemies have some dissenters. Hey, here, guys, see if you can. Here's a little money. Here's a little whatever. Here's a little training. Kind of like Cortev is currently doing with his online group. Well, here's how you effectively protest and protect yourself while you're doing it.
Yeah.
After Union basically went to them about this, they appear to have poked around a lot in their own files. Locking down files, deleting archive copies of some of them, dealing with a research station or research center, the Democritus Research Center.
Okay.
And the information you're able to pull out of there is that place had been doing some NHP research. Like some fairly high-end stuff, at least for the time. But doing it in response to research that they had discovered the Shinar were doing.
It's the old West East. Hey, they're doing it, so let's us do it.
Yeah, the League and the Shinar had been in conflicts before these major wars had kicked off. And this was the lead up to the first war. They'd already hit that kind of Cold War state. And it sounds, what you see, it looks like both sides were basically, at that point, were pouring money into NHP research to try to find a way to tip the balance in their favor. Out of fear that they were too evenly matched for a straight up war to really accomplish anything. That much they seem to be right, because, here we are on number 3. But like I said, during the war, both facilities were destroyed.
We've literally landed on the foxhole planet.
So be sure jot down that you've got a reserve of Ninurta information you can use. All right. So that's what you spend the day doing. I just picture Uriah and Cortev both in their little areas of the bunk, just on their computers.
Yep. It's a lot of data pad tapping.
And quietly, in Cortev's case, quietly talking into the microphone.
Yeah.
Uriah said
Whereas,
tablet just like staring off into space as it's just doing things.
oh,
He's just linked
dear
into it.
lord, Uriah's just doom scrolling, isn't he?
Maybe.
Whereas when Freddy investigates, he's like literally in Mat Shinar with like a trench coat and a fedora, walking through these mean streets.
Oh no.
Whipped right next to him, same trench coat, same fedora.
Whip is just
a lit stogie sandwich between two little actuators on his face.
There's a Groucho Marx mustache.
It's drawn on with dry erase.
I can see it.
Gets me my angry eyebrows.
Just drawn onto.
Then Freddy kind of licks a finger and gives it that little shaved line through one eyebrow.
You gotta look tough. Or effeminate, depends on what you're going for.
Both.
Yeah.
Both is good.
It's good.
So y'all spend most of the days working your individual projects.
And I will say, since he went so deep, like through both Union and League stuff, he forgets about the report.
Ooh.
Yep.
Roll. The equivalent of.
You're gonna get detention, man.
Principal says we're not gonna have a dance after all.
You're gonna have to stay back at the base with Charlie.
And your ground is a no computer.
Quick, put your eye on airplane mode.
Just remove your data plate. You don't need it anymore.
Sorry, just put your eye on airplane mode. That got me.
All right, so Tiana would probably be in the workshop or be in the one of the workshop areas.
Yeah, workshop area, engineering bay, wherever the.
Yeah, and I don't know why, but my old Mac that I had when I first started graphic design school, it's like a desktop computer. It had an airplane mode.
Probably just part of the operating system.
Yeah.
OS thing.
At some point, Charlie Wayne comes hobbling into y'all's barracks.
Thump, thump, thump.
Hey, buddy, you all right? Just surreptitiously putting the data pad away.
And I mentioned Uriah and Cortev, but I think Freddy would be in there doing his research too. So
just imagine Cortev like slowly closing the lid of the laptop.
Was that a Shinar college student I saw?
You know that thing you do when you're like 13? Oh, I guess most of us didn't have internet when we were 13, but like 13.
Shut up.
When you're like kind of like doing this the whole time. Just every little noise you're like, huh?
Then you get caught and you throw the laptop across the room.
Yeah.
Well, laptop, when I had the internet, you'd still kill somebody with that.
Yeah.
It's true.
Where's the laptop? It
Get out of
gets
window.
thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Hey, it's still working.
I think I killed a guy.
They were literally built different back then.
Mm-mm.
Nintendium.
So yeah, he comes stumbling in. What you guys doing? And everybody's like awkwardly. Yes.
I mean, I've been doing my report on the last thing we did. Did you want to look at it? I don't know.
No,
your
just
mind off of
summarize
that?
for me. And he kind of thumps over until he finds him. Either take the seat on somebody's cot or finds himself a chair.
Jesus.
So Uriah's just staring at the far wall, just no response.
We met the guy that started it all, and unfortunately, he's also paracausal.
Yeah.
Didn't know a person could be paracausal.
Neither did I. Learned something new.
Did y'all bring him back?
We physically couldn't. He's apparently tied to the location.
Wait, you said he started it all, so he blew up the town?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess what he deserves it.
Yeah.
It's like an old ghost story.
Gets to live with the enormity of his life.
He's damned to just sit there.
And that's literally what he's been doing.
Actually,
Actually, at least,
Something to chew its liver out.
yeah.
all things considered, though, he's...
Kind of
It
sad.
wasn't until we were talking to him did we actually find that out. I wasn't there. Because apparently he's been killed multiple times.
Multiple times plus one.
Yeah, Chuckle Nuts shot him.
Yeah, he blew up a town. It's kind of what you
That's
do to
what
people
I'm
that blew up a
saying.
town.
Overt act of terrorism.
Going above and beyond the act of terrorism.
Yeah.
Charlie don't seem that upset at the idea that you shot the guy that started all this crap.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, all this crap is, job security for him, but
Which him?
Charlie Wayne.
Oh, Charlie Wayne.
Charlie
Yeah.
Wayne. Having
Yeah,
a
without,
job.
this
Yeah.
war is job security.
Yeah.
Not that he necessarily needs a job per se.
Just think, we could be on a planet that's all cityscape instead of whatever this is, like the wilderness around us and all that.
Yeah, some of those worlds are nasty. I mean, you
Yeah.
can find plenty big cities in
Trust-
Cradle, but it's not all.
Trust
city.
me. Trust me. It ain't what it... There's a reason why I left. Among other ones.
But
This doesn't look too far out from where I'm from, but it just looks like a weird. It looks like someone turned the brightness up.
Someone turn the contrast up.
Charlie Wayne's like, yeah,
Yeah.
I bet you'd be pretty comfortable over there in Shinar. We weren't fighting them.
Damned if you do.
There's no good way for people to run other people. It all goes to crap eventually.
Awfully political from you.
I'm smart. I think deep thoughts. They're
Here
just
to
boring,
share.
so then I go do something else.
I respect that. I think I respect you more that you have the thought than I did before.
Just
But
happy
speak-
to learn there's more to you.
But speaking of bored, you want to go do something?
What do you have in mind?
I don't know anything.
Do you need like a wheelchair or something?
I can walk.
You're still on a crutch.
Yeah, let's just go. The doctor don't want me falling.
All right. Well, everyone has to like Secret Service you then.
Get one of those like little scooter things where you like put your knee up there so it elevates the leg.
Yeah.
You just scoot around.
So Uriah suddenly chimes in. Just get Vika to carry you.
And I turn,
Well, that'll work for stairs.
and I actually just hear Freddy say, "Hey, Whip, A3." Whip grabs a box, sets it down, and basically turns like a hover chair.
Wow.
I'm torn. I don't want anyone to think I'm an invalid, but I really want to ride that.
If Vika's not in the room right now, I think I'm frantically like datapad texting Vika like, come now, come now. Come to the
Yeah,
bunker now.
Vika is probably the same area as Tiana working on the drone.
Yeah.
Just like comparing notes and helping out each other.
Your presence is requested in the bunk room.
Looks over Tiana. Why do they want? What? Text back.
Oh.
Why? Does someone have a knife?
Charlie Wayne's here.
Yeah, I do text that. Charlie
And
Wayne
he's
said he's
interested
bored
in
and he wanted
going
to do
out and
something with
doing
us.
something.
Yeah.
Are you directly messaging Vika, or are you directing like the group?
Directly messaging. I am directly messaging
Okay.
Vika.
But
So
Vika's got
Ty's
like
like, what are you
phone
talking
down
about?
on the table, like between them, because she's probably using it to like look at
Oh,
plans
okay.
Yep.
or the data pad or whatever. She's
You
like,
are getting a lot of notifications.
yeah, that's overly concerning. At least they're not from who. Never mind. You're all big adults. You figure out what we're gonna do, and I'll join y'all. ...
What exactly
That
do you
still
got
requires your
planned?
presence.
And I'm actually asking
Hmm?
of
Oh, you're
that.
asking Charlie. Yeah.
Yeah.
He said he's bored, so like.
No,
what's
I'm
gonna
bored.
happen?
I don't have a plan. I just want to do something. I mean, we could just go to a bar again. I mean, that was fun last time until the walk home.
Well, yeah.
Uh,
Although I will be taking my sidearms now that happened.
yeah, some of the citizens in town get a little antsy about that, though. Ask me how I know.
Yeah, but I'm
How
not
do
taking
you
a big
know?
fuck off shotgun. I'm taking these things, and he like pulls out his SMGs.
Let's say you're riding from his bed. Well, how do you know?
I carried a gun into town.
How do you do?
You know, like you do. I mean, to be fair, back home we have the occasional bear, so it doesn't hurt to have one. But
Bear.
I say that they're pretty little, as bears go.
What's a bear?
Ah,
A large land predator, typically omnivore.
Don't have those in the Baronies. Everything's like luxury, cute, or produces food.
Bears can be
Cortev
both.
just has Yogi Bear.
Miniature pandas.
Spectacled bears.
Yes.
mm-mm.
The
No
only
bear.
bears native to South America.
Robo
But yeah, Cortez will shoot off a text to Vika again and be like, because she goes, "You guys are big boys. You can decide what you want to do." And then I text back, ... This still requires your presence.
Charlie Wayne suggested other things. Let's see. He couldn't do anything too physically active, though he could probably handle bowling.
Vika looks over at Tiana. I have a feeling we're going to have to go be the adults. Or let's go see what we're dealing with.
She sits down. She sits down the toes. It's like, that's a terrible decision. Just just follows Vika.
Yeah, Vika will walk along and she'll activate the thing so a set can walk along with.
Oh, a set likes this. Oh, hey, I gotta walk around like a regular person.
I know.
Rabbit and Coque, welcome to the club.
You guys look so big from this angle, though. It's weird.
To be fair, Vika's huge. That's a miss. That's a, what do you call it? Outlier.
Well, when you first pop her on in the workshop, she like wants to run to the mech bay to see what she looks like from this angle.
Yeah, she'll totally let her.
There's a smudge on.
Does
on
this
the
light
legs.
I'm just imagining Kokei. Does this light make me look fat?
No, it's very slimming.
But and I imagine Rabbit and Kokei are like picking up random things on the walk to the barracks, just because they can.
Well, it's not complete yet.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry.
They
Yeah.
try to
No,
slip through their hands.
Yeah, I mean, like they could probably attempt, but it doesn't do
Yeah.
anything. But
Uh,
I'll be like, soon, I promise.
so as Tiana, and well, let's see, it'd be Tiana, Vika, Kokei, Rabbit, and Aset. That's a decent little
Yep.
squad of y'all.
Yeah.
Mhm.
As you're approaching the bunkhouse, you see the front doors open.
Okay.
I don't know which of you guys is holding the front door for Charlie, but he's in the little hover chair. So what the ladies see as they approach is Charlie and Wayne launching himself out the door, and down the little 2 or 3 steps up into the barracks. In this
Vika's
little
just-
hover chair,
Ty just looks at Vika and then looks at Charlie.
you just
He's
hear.
gonna break his other fucking leg.
It's a hover chair, so it's not an uneven ride down the stairs, but it is down the angle.
Quietly to Vika, I wonder if it has an eject button.
It almost doesn't need one because he hits the ground and turns sharp and kind of for a couple of seconds it looked like the
Deja
thing may
vu.
tip over completely, and then
Is he drifting the chair around the corner?
he seems to be trying to.
It's like,
Which is more
never mind,
curious,
he'll do it himself.
considering there's literally gyroscopic mechanisms in there to prevent that. That's very curious.
Clearly, he was putting his weight on one side.
He's like shifting his weight really hard.
Freddie,
You've
what had a thing
underestimated
built
the
is sitting
power
back
of
there going,
redneck
he did
engineering.
that on purpose.
Yeah.
It's like, Ty's like, never mind, he'll do it himself.
I'll walk out first after that, see the girls, and be like, I think we're going bowling, and just follow.
Well, Charlie spins around to come up next to the ladies. Hey, anybody need a ride? A set and
Oh, thanks, Charlie.
a set and Kokei immediately kind of climb up and kind of sit on the back of the chair behind him. I mean, in both cases, the drones
There's
are
like
hovering
three,
over
there's
him,
like
but the
3
hologram-
drones hovering around Charlie.
Rabbit has more dignity.
That tracks.
Very much so.
He's like, I value having all of my limbs unbroken.
Mm-mm-mm.
There's an animated show on Cradle I could show you later.
He's like, yeah, they're nice limbs and all, but
Oh, come on! You said you could survive bowling. Let's go bowling.
What are we doing with bowls?
You'll see. Large.
It's an old cradle sport.
oh, y'all aren't familiar with it? Oh yeah.
I've seen it before, but just through the memes. There's this
Horace,
one
that
guy-
tracks.
There's this one guy who's like, "Who do you think you are? I am." That's it.
Pre-order. Okay.
So y'all head over to a little its own base, and it's not strictly speaking a bowling alley. It's more of a general purpose, kind of gymnasium complex.
Like a rec center.
Yeah, a rec center is probably a good word for it. But they have an area over to one side where you can do bowling. Volleyball, any number of sports. As long as it isn't something that requires like an area the size of a soccer field. They've got outside facilities for that. So y'all get in there. Have any of your characters actually bowled before?
Nope.
Hell no. Vika's probably looking at that like, can I shot put that?
Not
Charlie
really.
was like, physically, I'm sure you could, but that's not how the game works.
Kortev only
That's not
knows
fair.
from that one clip, ball go in there, hit pins, and that's it.
So you've got a little desk
Nice,
area
good.
with a screen.
Ty goes to pick one up. They're heavier than they look.
Yeah.
They should have the weights listed on them somewhere. Find one that you're
You're right.
comfortable with.
Uriah just holding one that's ironically it looks like it's a lot heavier than he should be able to hold, but he's just going like,
Cheater using the mechanical arm.
what? I'm a mechanic. I'm stronger than I look. You know this.
Charlie plays a little intro video that explains the rules. Demonstrates how to
Okay.
hold the ball.
Oh, they're scoring. Neat.
Uriah, he actually pauses and he eventually steals the video and is looking at it just like Vika, probably knowing Uriah, is like he's calculating all the trajectories in his head, isn't he?
Like you can't use your mechanical arm for precision. You have to use your non-mechanical arm.
You're right, Eric.
Oh, okay. Gee.
You
Sounded like-
okay?
Sounded like someone crashed into the light pole outside.
No.
Jeez.
No, because all of us who just immediately went, huh?
We were expecting some monstrous hand to grab you by the face at any moment and drag you off screen.
What makes it
We just hear
What
the
makes it
Freddy
even
Fazbear
funnier is
noise.
what makes it even funnier is Vika was talking about so you can't use your mechanical arm.
That's true. The timing was pretty good on it.
Yeah.
It's like
It's like, why not? I mean, look at these guys kind of use both hands. Or either hand.
We'll start you off with the ramp. It's fine.
Huh?
Generally use your dominant hand, but whatever floats your boat.
Well, I'm ambidextrous.
And use your non-bionic hand.
Yeah, non-mechanical probably the way to go then.
Okay.
Vika know he probably still could judge trajectories by that.
Everyone's looking at the instructions and how to play. Kortev is searching the OmniNet for trick shots.
how to curve a bowling ball.
How to hit the 7-10 split, which I have now learned is the hardest thing to do. Apparently.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Very difficult.
Yep.
There's also the middle finger, which is literally the very back pen, because
It's the hardest to knock down. Supposedly.
So Charlie Wayne starts off the proceedings.
Mhm.
And he's gone in on once y'all watch the video, he goes in on the screen, he puts in everybody's name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He gets up and he kind of hobbles forward. He doesn't seem happy with that. He backs up. I just want you to know I'm playing with I'm playing with a handicap here.
literally.
I could give you the ramp.
Do you need the gutters? You need the gutter blockers.
Wait, you can block those?
That's what
for
you
training.
do for children.
Oh.
So he goes up, he rolls, And it's like he sort of half kicks the leg in the cast back up behind him. You know, it looks awkward, and he almost tilts over too far. And then, ball goes up, it knocks down, 7 or 8 of the pins. He doesn't seem overly happy about it, though.
That looked pretty good.
This thing, he thumps on his cast. I thought it's messing up my balance. Now, do we actually want to roll for bowling?
I'm down.
Sure.
I roll dice for no reason at all. Let's go.
We have the dice.
I like
we're
the
going
sound
to
of
roll
clicky
them.
clackies.
Yeah.
Yep.
Click clack bath rocks go good.
Scratch brain itch.
Shiny brain rocks. Make brain go
Shiny.
brrr.
All right.
Dice goblin go play.
I didn't bring this out for my health.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right.
I'm bringing it out for my mental sanity.
I guess that probably means that I need to pull up Charlie Wayne's stats.
I already know what I'm going to use for this.
Because I do know he has an odd skill or two. All right, what do we got here?
I want to ask the silly question: does take someone out count?
No, pins are not a someone.
Dang.
So sorry.
I had to ask.
So sorry.
It's all good.
Just down at the end of the lane with a sniper rifle.
You
didn't say I had to hit him with a ball.
at the end.
I'll say before Ty is the one that actually puts the ball all the way down the lane, takes out the far screen.
If I roll a 1, she's doing it. I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
It's like,
Gets the
Yeah,
owner
I
of the
said-
bowling alley pissed off at her.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
look, when I said
It's a
put your
sprinkler.
whole weight into it, that's not what I meant.
She doesn't have a lot of weight. Stop picking on her.
Featherweight.
All right.
Where the Bucky sticker came.
So for the first game, all right, everybody give me a roll to see how you are doing in your first game.
Add the grit too.
Oh, I forgot to add the grit for Charlie's. Yes, add the grit. And y'all's
Would
grit's
any-
currently at +4.
Plus
Plus
5.
5.
Oh, y'all are +5.
Oh, well,
Are there any
Mine would be a
tags,
19.
triggers that would apply?
I'd stay cool. I'm pretty sure I can't charm the pins.
Nope.
I mean, I have spot, but I don't think that would help me.
I'm using show off.
Show off
Yeah,
works.
that works out.
I would say
Quest.
stay cool, because that is perform a task that requires concentration, dexterity, speed, or precision under pressure. Whether or
And
not this counts as under
minus-
pressure depends on how competitive you are, probably.
-1 from mine because I actually thought we were at 6 grit. It's 5. So I have a 19 out of 20.
Okay.
Okay.
Same.
25.
So a question.
Mm-hmm.
If Uriah approaches this as, so this strike thing is important. So this equation I need to equal to strike. So can I use invent create to create an approach of him studying like how balls are like getting rolled and stuff from
He's specifically
everybody
doing
else?
blast. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, like watching how people do it, studying like how they do things, and sort of using that as he's creating an approach to get to the end result of hit strike.
Yeah, with who we stay cool and invent creator the same one, so
Yeah,
He's creating a formula in his head.
Basically, yeah.
yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I rolled a 1, plus 5, plus 6.
So
You
got
rolled a 1, but you got an 11.
I got a 12.
30.
Jesus Christ.
Just roll a 20.
Look, man, I almost nat 20.
Vika, do you have anything that you think would add in?
I think you have stay cool, don't you?
No, I got rid of it to bump up some other ones.
Ah.
Unless apply fist to face, blow something up, get some more quickly, hack, fix, patch, read a situation, spot, or threaten. Work on this.
No, not really.
25.
Thought I already ordered that. No.
All right, so you've already rolled, Sarah. Is that 25 what you rolled?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you did quite good even without that. Let's see, Carr got a 19. Is that everybody? Have I written everybody
Yep.
down?
I think so.
Cortez,
I got a-
Vika,
I got a
Uriah.
12.
Freddie, what did you get?
19, I believe. Let me look back at the.
You
Yes.
Okay. I think that was the one I did not write down. Oh no, the C there is Charlie. I didn't write down. I did not write down Tiana's either. Which was a 20. Okay. Put an H on that, so I know it's Charlie. Okay. Cortev, I'm afraid that you lost, or that you came in. You came in bottom of the pack.
That's fine.
Everybody else did pretty good.
Mm-mm.
Technically passed, just didn't do nearly as good as everybody else. Everyone's hitting strikes, and Cortez is like almost there. Has to like roll the spare.
Much to Charlie's chagrin. Other than Cortev, everybody did better than him. By the end of the game, he is muttering bitterly about this cast.
It's like darts all over again.
At some point, when this thing is off, he's dragging you all back here and we're doing this over again. He won't have the handicap. Y'all won't have the beginner's luck. It'll be fine.
And to which then it pans left, you see Whip and Freddy in like bowling shirts. Yeah, beginner's luck.
They're in the shirt. They've got their own shoes. They'd have to get them from the place.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
You going again, Charlie? You done?
I ain't no quitter.
All right.
All right.
So give me one more roll.
Uriah will actually sit out this second game. Instead, he's sitting on the bench, like having ordered some food. He'll open up his messenger where he like saw that message in the code, and just go, "What is up, dog?"
Oh no.
Back.
I don't know, dog. What's up with you?
Oh. And then he'll just go, "Vika, I gotta deal with something." And then he'll just like sit back, close his eyes, and then start mentally chatting.
And that message had like a little smiley emoji kind of thing behind it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blame that for Vika fumbling her roll.
No, what I do?
She got a 10. She like barely.
Oh.
Some point in time after Ty finishes rolling, she'll just reach up and poke Uriah's cheek.
He doesn't react.
Just keeps doing it until he reacts.
All right, Cortez, what'd you get?
23.
Say eventually she's just grabbed, picked up, in lap, hold.
Freddie?
That would be an 11.
Okay.
Almost rolled a 1.
Tiana?
15.
And Uriah was sitting this one out.
Yes.
My time to shine.
It is. Cortev beats out everybody this time.
Woo!
Charlie's a lot
Right
happier.
ball.
You know, he came in second with his 20.
Nice.
Just had to get the right ball.
Freddie and Vika pull up the rear with their 11 and 10, respectively.
Where's Charlie fall? Or did I already announced
Second.
that?
He came in
Second.
second. He came in. So he's a lot happier this go around.
You just had to get used to it. You just like shift your weight around.
You almost got it.
Yeah. Not a bad
We're the
not a bad showing with a handicap.
We were the bottom two. Now we're the top two. Of course, I'm better, but you know, we'll get there.
That sounds like a challenge.
It
The
will
only
be.
result is a
Wait.
dance-off. Haha, Charlie.
It will
Because-
be when he's, you know, I don't want to go against somebody who feels like they are handicapped.
And while this game is going on, Uriah,
Hmm.
who are you chatting with?
As in, you want me to come up with the personality and everything?
You can come up with a personality, or I can. It doesn't matter.
Well, it basically is like, so where did you come from?
That is a deeply philosophical question.
Yeah.
Where did you come from?
Depending on who you ask. that
When a
could be-
mommy and daddy love each other, man.
When a nerd and his computer love each other very much.
This is
So, what do I call you?
Up dog.
No, that's a General Horus thing.
Mhm.
It's not even something we came up with. I think that's straight out of the lore.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, it
I think there's
actually
I think there's an NHP that actually specifically states it's like all we saw was up dog.
No, it's the Kobold code.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
called the dog.
Yep.
But I'm still flopping between, do I go Kobold or do I go Minotaur? Because both are really good.
Eric, do you want your NHP to present as masculine or feminine?
Masculine.
Okay.
Wait, it's the only male NHP that we have,
Mm-hmm.
except for
we don't know what
Whip.
Rappy and Duba's.
Yeah, that's
ones
true.
are.
We don't know what Rappy and Doob is, and I don't know if Whip identifies as a gender.
Whip identifies as a problem.
As a chair right now.
Actually, no. Didn't turn the robot didn't turn into a chair. He grabbed a chair.
He went and
He basically
fixed it.
grabbed
okay.
a box and turned it. He grabbed a box and it was something that I had already built.
Okay, gotcha.
Although Whip being a transformer does sound pretty damn awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I just realized if you go Kobold or Minotaur, it has to be a gym bro.
Well, Minotaur is like all about control, or I
Yeah.
about said chaos control, but that's a Sonic thing.
Kobold is just basically I want to play Minecraft.
And also rebellion,
Yeah.
because Kobold, like the code base that is based around Kobold, is just
Yeah, it's-
appears in mining rigs when
Actually,
it's time to overthrow tyrants.
Well, actually, no. I noticed they take mining rigs, and it's literally a virus because it's one of the few of Horuses that actually has like a set pattern.
Anyway, your new friend identifies himself as Sobek.
Sobek?
Sobek.
Okay.
Constant typing to see what that is.
Yeah, I'm about to do that too.
But you can just call him
Um,
Beck if you want to.
I
I mean, nobody else does, but nobody else has ever called him anything that he remembers.
It's nice
Ah.
to meet you.
No, it's nice to be here. Pretty sure I'm supposed to help you out.
Well, if you're hanging out with me, we're gonna be in the middle of the fight a lot.
Great. Who are we fighting?
Well, technically two separate armies.
Just the two of us?
No, there's my squad, and he'll flick on his eye and sort of like send a video, like of the people that are bowling in the same area he's in.
Just the top of Ty's head because he's in his lap.
Yeah. So
Oh,
all
hey,
these
I think that's my
people-
sister.
Pardon?
What's that?
Oh, yeah, one of the NHPs, not one of the people. That'd be... Well, that requires some explaining.
Well, and like you'll see physically, like his arm starts moving, but he's not talking as he points to Koke, Rabbit, and a set. But he'll say back to Sobek, well, that's Koke, that's Rabbit, and that's a set.
Ah, that's it. That name seems familiar.
Okay. Interesting, because your sister is partnered with my biological twin sister.
Neat. So what are y'all doing? Because he's got the camera feed. You've given him the camera feed over your eye. So.
Yeah. Apparently, this is some game called bowling.
Oh yeah. That goes back to Cradle. Oh, that's actually a fairly old game.
I apparently got a nearly all strikes game last round.
I thought strikes were bad in that other sport.
Strikes.
Oh God, we all
Baseball.
need to play baseball. It'll be like that episode of DS9.
Yes.
Well, you're right sitting there going, strikes? I don't know.
And then you see, he works out the little formula, the math formula for how you score in bowling. Oh, I see. And if you get and it compounds. Okay.
Yeah. And
So nobody can score higher than 300.
And like he sends like another mathematical formula of, and this is sort of like what I use to get to the score, like the arcs and the weight and all that.
God, there's two of them.
I'm sure this won't go bad.
I need a body. I need a body so I can play.
You'd have to. He glances down and then goes and pokes Ty.
What?
I might need you to build another body at some point.
Okay.
Because apparently, then he points to a set. It's like apparently her brother is now partnered with me.
That gets the set's attention.
She just kind of
Vika looking over mid nacho.
She just kind of looks up at you, then looks at a set, looks up at you, looks at Vika. That's too coincidence. That's way too coincidence.
His name is Sobek. I'm gonna have to do some research later.
A set nods head. Yeah,
I can.
So you do know?
You had a brother.
Well, I didn't either until right now. Shoot, I may not have had him until right now. I don't know.
Vika, I'm getting a pizza.
This does require
What are you
pizza.
doing? What are you doing, Ty?
Put down Ty. Put down.
Oh, right. That's tied out.
So as Uriah strolls off
guess I'm
pizza,
working on a
Koke just sort of crosses her arms. Well, he's taking that better than he took the rest of us. I don't know if I should be offended. Maybe it was me personally he didn't like.
Vika from
Or
where
Or,
she's
he's just,
sitting.
or if he's just growing as a
Growth.
person. Maybe.
It could be that he's gotten used to them.
Or just giving in to the inevitable.
Or that.
No, I mean, Koke's like, let's face it. The workshop has a lot of NHPs.
Yeah.
Me,
I mean,
the
Charlie,
player.
do
do
I'm
the
sure
Mad
this won't
Dogs
bite
have
us.
any NHPs? Charlie's kind of like, no.
Ty's like, I started
None?
this trend.
Charlie's like, no.
I just realized by the time I get to Technophile 3, all the NHPs are technically, as long as, Sobek vouches for Uriah, gonna love him because of just the nature of Technophile 3.
Yeah, all
Okay.
of us have NHPs that'll vouch for each other.
I can just see Sobek now talking to the other NHPs. Okay, now he's a little rough around the edges. Making
He's
the
okay.
excuses that you would make that might traditionally be made for the quote unquote racist uncle.
Yeah.
Well, he's had a bad experience with an HP. He's a man of his time.
Mm-mm-mm.
So you go to get pizza and you get quizzed by Sobek on what pizza is.
Uriah's like, I have no idea, but I want one. It looks good.
So apparently that wraps it up for bowling. Everybody starts filing out after Uriah. Charlie's kind of like,
I thought the area had like pizza and nachos kind of thing.
Would they have a food?
Because
thing
some
in the
bowling-
gymnasium?
Yeah, bowling alleys sometimes have.
Oh well, yeah.
Oh yeah,
this is
actual
their own-
full-fledged bowling alleys do, but this is a
like a rec
sport.
center. It's
This is
not
a
an
rec
actual-
center on a military base.
That's
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know the bowling alley up on Campbell has. Okay.
It's the difference between a rec center versus a bowling
Yeah.
alley. A rec center is more go in and do what you want to do while it's there. There's like maybe vending machines and snack machines,
Yeah.
but
Okay, so pizza.
But unfortunately, before you get to the restaurant,
of course.
A car.
messages start coming in
What are you talking
Oh,
about? He's
Lord.
right there.
for everybody except Charlie.
We
For
had
all
a
of
meeting
us.
today, didn't we? Did he ever give us a time for that?
No.
What does the message say?
Let's see. Had he actually set up a meeting for you?
He had said we need to meet, but he hadn't given us a time.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
he'd officially set anything up yet.
No.
Yeah, he just said we were going to be meeting at like sometime the next day, but he never said what time it was.
But no, this comes through as a priority call, so this would not be, even if he'd set up a meeting.
If it
this
was
would
a
not be-
meeting, this is an all points alert happening.
Sort of, but it's only going to you guys. Charlie's doesn't go off. Of course, he is technically off
Combat duty.
off
yeah.
duty, off combat duty at the moment.
Hmm.
But he starts looking around, and since Tiana is short enough that he can, he leans over and looks over at your wrist thing as you're looking at.
Oh, okay.
From his seated position. He doesn't want to be left out.
I thought he's like leaned over, and I thought he like put his arm on Ty's head and looks down.
No, I mean like the he's in a chair. He's in that hover chair, so he's
Yeah.
Armrest.
Mm-mm-mm-mm.
Not that he'd be above doing exactly that if he thought of it.
Yeah.
No, it is Jellicoe requesting your immediate presence in his office. Let's see.
I guess it's a rain check on pizza then.
No, that's pretty much all it says. You know, it's a priority, so it's not, you know, or you know, it's not just a. It's not like he just says decided, we're gonna have the meeting right now.
Yeah.
Something actively happened.
Guess we're rain checking on pizza then.
Just one full day of relaxation. Just one. Come on.
I'm gonna. We had one, and then a kaiju showed up on the beach.
Oh, you know, a kaiju hasn't showed up in a while now.
You're
Let's
welcome.
not tempt fate.
Too late.
Cortev's actually gonna get a pizza delivered to the bunk, or like a couple of pizza boxes, a couple of pizzas.
Mm-mm-mm.
All right, so y'all head over to the command center.
Mhm.
Yep.
Get a pad in hand, like and ordered, and then Jellicoe. Sorry, Commander Jellicoe.
Commander.
Get Charlie back to the barracks and then go to Jellicoe.
Yeah, we make sure Charlie doesn't get hit by another car.
Yeah.
He's also trying to usher him towards the back. He's like, well, I was just going to go with y'all and see what was going on.
Oh,
No,
I mean, if you
Grandpa,
can.
let's get you to bed.
It's a busted leg. I'm fine. They're supposed to be taking the thing off in a day or two anyway. So unless y'all are very firm with he's going to follow you.
I mean, we could take him with him if they
yeah,
let him in
totally.
the door or not.
Yeah.
We'll drag him along.
It's up to them if they let him in the door.
It followed us home, sir.
So you know, y'all get there. Great, Commander's like, please come in, have a seat. Charlie, what are you doing here?
It followed us home.
It's not a lost dog.
You know, Charlie. Oh, I was with him when they got the call. I just thought I'd see. I mean, you know, if it's an emergency, we can just take this thing off now. Charlie, you're off combat duty. And then Jellicoe just sort of points to the door. Charlie.
Vicky gives him a pat on the shoulder. It's only 2 more days.
We tried, Charlie.
As soon as he's gone, Jellicoe's like, that's not a man you want sitting around getting bored.
To trust us, we know.
But you know, but regulations are regulations. He's not on combat duty. He's not supposed to be in one of these meetings. Not that it's anything, you know, not that it's anything you have to keep from him if you speak to him later.
We'll fill him in great detail later to try and fend off the boredom and save the base for 2 days.
Thank you. Jellicoe gestures to his assistant who brings up this thing, holographic display springs up. And you're looking at a map of like the front line. And there's lots of angry red triangles coming in from the Shinar side, kind of towards the border. Apparently, the Shinar have initiated a new
Offensive.
Thank you. I blinked on the word for a second. A new major offensive. They're hitting us hard at several key points along the border. It's been suggested this could be in retaliation for us getting so deep into their territory and then setting off a small nuclear explosion. He doesn't stare at Uriah, but maybe he glances over at Uriah as he says it.
The side eye is detectable.
It's just a slight side eye.
Bombastic side eye.
He hasn't had a chance to read all your reports yet. In fact, he's missing one. Uriah, this is the moment you realize you haven't done your report yet.
He blinks and goes, "Oh yeah, I did
Huh.
need to do that."
The file got corrupted. Really?
The NHP ate my homework.
Up,
So
dog,
big
ate my
spi-
homework.
Sobek speaks up. Actually, his report became me.
At this point, Sobek can only speak to Uriah, though.
Yeah.
Unless he started broadcasting out of the mech.
I
I don't know how much control he has of the mech.
don't either.
So yeah, major new offensive along the front line. They are pushing up against Base Achille pretty hard. So Union is scrambling a lot of forces out there. They're already redirecting the Mad Dogs who are on their way back to base.
Charlie pops in. No, Charlie. Aww.
Who let him listen at the door?
Security.
Just falls
Like, 6
in with like a
people
cup
title.
against the door.
But yeah, they've redirected the Mad Dogs and the Red Hands to that area where they're sending. It's where they're about to send you.
Mm.
Double check. Yeah, the Red Hands. He at worst he thinks that at worst our little incursion to Kaliakra may have sped up them doing this, but given the amount of troops involved, this was clearly something they were building up towards, for a while now. If they break through the front line, it's going to be rough. Stopping them after that, without losing a fair amount of territory. So they're going to be shipping you out to back up forward base Achilles. You'll need to be ready to go tomorrow.
Anything else?
So Uriah, don't worry about that report.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure I have it by the time you get back. You'll have time on the flight out there to fill it out and send it in.
Okay.
Usually I'm quite a stickler for getting those reports on time, but this being the first time that you weren't the first person to turn it in.
Technically, it's still the same day, so if he gets bored.
As long as he's ready, yeah. As long as he's ready to go, I don't guess it matters. But everybody focus on getting ready.
I did just kind of get an NHP shoved into my mech. So,
another one? Well,
apparently.
not another one into your. Statistically, I'll have an odd number of NHPs.
Take a wild guess what the naming theme is.
I'm sure this won't bite us in the butt, sir.
Let's see. Bassett?
No. His name is apparently Sobek.
Is that the crocodile that eats people in the afterlife?
Is it? Uriah immediately just scroll. Like, it's obvious he just completely tunes the meeting out as he immediately starts looking.
If you want even more of a coincidence, sir, Sobek is the brother to Aset. Apparently.
I don't remember that in the mythology. Oh, you mean... Wait. They're NHPs.
I don't know how it happened either, sir.
That's just how it was told to us by Sobek and Aset. So
He looks over at Aset. When they said his name, I knew he was my brother. Kind of like I know my dad sent me here, but I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what a dad is. But it's not like I was a little kid in HP somewhere. I just woke up in Vika's mech.
These are a lot of questions we can dive deeper into when we have more than 24 hours of downtime.
Yeah. NHP researchers for decades after this war are going to be studying you guys, I'm pretty sure.
Hate that.
Well,
You hear
guys,
an-
time to get our own planet.
You hear a nice little beeping chirp. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, I'm proud of you too.
Jellicoe starts to ask, and then he just doesn't. So get ready. Be ready to head out in the morning. He'll send any additional information he gets. He'll send you as you go. Obviously, once you get to forward base Achilles, they'll bring you up to speed on exactly what they need you to do.
Mm-hmm.
It's everything's moving quickly, so any plan we made today is going to be out of date by the time you get there. So,
Gotcha.
Fun.
So if you don't have any questions, you pause and see if anybody has any questions.
Nope.
All right, dismiss then.
Charlie's gonna be pissed.
Charlie is waiting right outside the command center for you.
because of course he is.
Yeah.
Uriah passing him by. We're off to war. Bye.
Son of a! And he spins the chair and rolls up. Stays up.
Just rip the band-aid off, Uriah. It's fine.
We're getting sent to forward base Achilles with the Red Hand and the rest of the Mad Dogs.
Oh, they're sending everybody but me.
Maybe they'll send you after you get the cast taken off.
Look, and to which I say, look at it this way. You're supposed to recover in a day or so. This way you can make your heroic entrance during the battle.
Yeah, I could just be fashionably late. I mean, I know you're trying to cheer me up, but still, it's something to think about.
Could have Ty look at you, see if she can't patch you up enough to get you out of the cast early.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna be in a mech. It's not like you need your leg to walk around in a mech.
I don't think I have the authority to do that.
Unless, of course, my mech got shut out from under me again.
Again?
Not recently. Not since I've known you guys. Look, it's a long story. I didn't realize that a legless mech could still shoot at you. You know what? It doesn't matter. Let's just say it's not a lot of fun to ever have to run across a battlefield when everybody else is still in their mechs.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound.
Looking at Tiana.
I mean, nobody wants to do that.
She just does not look at Vika. She is looking at Charlie.
Very obviously looking at Tiana, just like standing over her, looking down.
Charlie catches the interplay there, but he's unaware that Tiana does that sort of thing anymore, or does that sort of thing now. So yeah.
Nope, she's not doing it anymore.
Because he is
sweating.
He may have gotten the very basics out of you about the mission, but he hasn't gotten the details of what went down. So is there any prepping that y'all need to do before the next day? I mean, everybody pretty much had their mech. Your mechs were pretty much repaired when they got here.
I don't think so.
No. She might like do some fine tuning on a weapon or two. But that's about it. Maybe put like a little pod inside of the pilot pod for where she puts the drone at.
Okay.
Uriah's gonna tinker with his mech a little bit. Pull since he's not using giant dragon mech anymore. He's just gonna go. I'm not sure what to even do with this data for this.
Just picture him shoving the data for the NHP into the Atlas like a toaster.
No, not that. It's like he literally he pops up a line to Jellicoe and is like, "Hey, Commander, do you want a really, really big gun?"
You're going Pegasus, aren't you?
Weapons are good. What's the context?
Okay, here you
right?
go. And he literally sends the commander like the entire blueprint and how to build the particle line cannon that he made. All right, got prepping to do. Bye. Click.
I will also be assisting Vika with getting the drone connection into her mech.
I just imagine the commander's like, he just handed me a WMD. Why?
Why send it to me? Send it to the engineers. I think I better give Dr. Rook a call.
Well, he was specifically told that he wasn't allowed to tinker with things that could threaten the base. And if he sends it to the engineers without approval, considering this thing vaporizes stuff, he's just following orders.
All right, and I believe Uriah was jumping back in the Atlas.
Yes, he is.
And Tiana was jumping back into Dog. She's tired of being little.
Yeah, well,
I was like,
the
I need
dog is more supporty than the unspoken promise.
I don't know. The unspoken promise is a lot of good with that slip and slide.
Oh, I still have that. That's not part of the unspoken promise.
Car, while Tiana's helping put in the drone pod thing, she might notice that the slip and slide thing is also in Vika's mech now too.
Oh, she has part Sunzi.
Yep.
So let me see if I get this straight. First, Tiana gets drones for her NHPs. So then Vika has to have a drone for her NHP. Tiana gets a slip and slide for her mech. Now Vika has to have a slip and slide for her mech.
It's a girl thing.
I mean,
Also,
she can do the same thing
she
for
can only move
Whip
at 5.
if Freddy wants, but I figured Whip was happy with the body that he had.
As you see both Freddy and Whip approach the actual Whip's primary body, you see the little drone kind of fold into like a sort of a flat cassette-like disc and land inside Whip like Soundwave.
Yeah.
I knew the body folded up some kind of way.
As soon as you said cassette, I was like, he's going Soundwave.
Soundwave superior. I tried so hard to figure out how to do that, then I found out Frank Welker actually used a machine to do that.
Yeah, it was your typical kind of robotic voice.
Yeah.
It's like Soundwave cheaped out on his voice synthesizer. So y'all get prepped, and the engineering crew in the mech bay, they are scrambling because they've got, multiple, they're offering any assistance you guys need. Though they pretty much got your guys packed up and stuff. But it's not just you guys going. It's there's some support staff going too. So there's a lot of scrambling, people running around, getting stuff ready.
Yeah.
So yeah, once y'all are prepped, they go ahead and you go ahead and you load your mechs up on the transports that night. Uriah Sobek throughout the evening is pinging you, questions about this, that, and the other.
He's answering them.
Getting up to speed on what's been going on.
Yeah.
He seems to have a fair amount of knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like he doesn't always. It doesn't always come to him until you say something that would cause him to reference it.
Okay.
If you mention the Mat Shinar, then suddenly he's got snap. Oh yeah, all this information on them guys.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going through like military strategies and stuff like that. He's fairly convinced that he was created for war.
Fun.
He seems to be,
and we go to war.
And he seems to be almost excited at the prospect.
Sun Tzu said that.
I will quote that. I know that entire video short.
Do I even want to know?
Meet the soldier.
Probably not.
Sun Tzu said that. I think he knows a little bit more about war than you do, pal, because he invented it.
That's why every time they have a bunch of animals, it's called a zoo, unless it's a farm.
And I was like, and then he gathered 2 of every animal on Earth into a boat, and he beat the crap out of every single one. Or it's like using his fight money, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So y'all have the night to rest up.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza.
Oh yeah.
Pizza party in the bunk.
Yep.
Yeah, Cortev ordered pizzas. They showed up.
Yeah, Uriah, while that's happening, he will actually open up a message specifically to a set, and we'll go a set Sobek a set. Converse.
They greet each other in essentially regular human speech, almost like they're just talking over things.
Mm-hmm.
But the speech speeds up and starts getting simplified, and pretty soon you can't follow it. Like with your ears, you could look at the code. You could look at the code and kind of figure out.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking in memes.
Well, they're talking like even modern day AIs will do. If it's just 2 of them communicating with each other, they simplify the language to become more and more efficient, or they can depending on how they're set up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sometimes even when they're told not to.
Yep.
Vika just looking at Uriah like, really?
He just shrugs.
Suddenly, Vika stops getting messages from a set for a little while.
He's like, I'll be quiet for an hour while they're all eating pizza.
No. Well, a set just got the drone though, so that hasn't you hadn't seen. You hadn't gotten very many messages from her today because she's in a drone. She'll just say something.
Just
to
ask
you.
me.
Mm-hmm.
And Charlie Wayne followed you back to the barracks, so he's partaking in the pizza.
Mm-hmm. That's completely fine. I bought plenty.
As he gets a little bit later, he tells you he'll, he's been following y'all around all day, so he'll give y'all a break.
They giving you word on what they're doing with you after they get the cast off?
I don't know. They won't tell me anything until I'm officially back on active combat duty. I think Jellicoe's just doing it because he knows it drives me nuts.
I mean, that's possible.
Hopefully, if they ship some more people out your way, hopefully they'll ship me out, back to my squad.
Anything you want us to pass on to him?
Don't win the war till I get there.
We'll tell them to wait for your dramatic entrance.
That's the ticket. He wills the Lord, directs the little chair around, starts flying it towards, or hovering it towards the door.
Uriah just.
Freddie, I'm keeping this for a couple of days.
That's all right.
He just shoves Vika in.
Vika looking at Uriah and in twin speech. You gone to therapy yet?
Well, I was before this started.
Well, and I was before this started, so put a pin in it, and when we get back from the front lines, we'll take care of all of these beds.
Pizza.
Yeah.
No, literally just like pizza in her mouth, just.
So Charlie Wayne, who was going to the door, heard Uriah cough. Thought, oh yeah, he thinks I'm stealing the chair. Turned around, said that to Freddie. And then he watches the exchange between the two of you with a slightly confused look on his face. Like he's probably seen the twins speak before. But it's back and forth, glance at him, back and forth. Anything you want to share with the rest of the class?
No.
She'll tell you when we get back.
Hands the back of Uriah's head.
He just takes
gently.
Okay.
I should have strangled you in the womb.
And then he has somebody open the door, and he jets out the door as fast as he can again.
Ty's just like, one of these days I might try to learn that language. Right now, no. And just keeps and just walks away with a thing of pizza.
Not that hard.
It depends on which version we're on.
There is about 14 variants.
We had a really boring childhood at times.
Yeah.
Just stares at both of them.
Silently eating pizza from here on out.
Aset looks over at Tiana. I think I've got most of the nouns figured out, if you want my list. The verbiage I'm still working on. There's a little ting-ting as you get a little file delivered to your...
She's going to look through it and be confused the entire time.
Sobek and Aset are somehow going to crack twin speech.
Basically...
Or they immediately started designing their own.
That's true. Alex, basically it's... I mean, you know D&D. It's basically Thieves' Cant.
Ah, okay. Yep, okay.
Gotcha. So there's lots of hand gestures too. Some of them very rude.
Most of them very rude, just depending on the culture.
Yeah.
Some of them it's the same gestures, just how much aggression you put into it that changes the meaning.
Is the gesture inverted?
Who knows?
All right, so y'all all have the chance for a good night's sleep. Up the next morning at the crack of dawn, you have time to get your good breakfast in, because goodness knows what you'll be eating.
I will say, before night is out, Uriah Wilson, his report, there's a message. The title is, "Sorry this is brief, but the others covered the rest. This is important." And his report is one sentence. Do not let Raw find that city.
That's the other thing that I was going to bring up in our group thing. Because technically, that's violating the...
Yeah. Uriah from SSC, intimately familiar with this.
Yeah.
What agreement did Ra? What agreement did anybody on this planet make with Ra?
It was basically
Not
it
this
was
planet.
it was the statement Ra made. No, this is for humans in general.
Yeah.
Well, these guys didn't know that.
Think Raw cares.
Ross, like you didn't get
None
them the
of it.
newsletter?
No, nobody knows what Ra really cares about.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that was the last time that he popped up. Essentially, Harrison II was trying to basically decided that basically was trying to violate it. It appeared, Demius appeared over Harrison Armory World, and like a sphere inside his palace disappeared. They're fairly certain it was centered on him.
Because he was trying to become immortal.
Yep.
And immortality belongs only in the realm of the gods.
Yeah. So that's why.
What you didn't hear was all of a sudden a loud boop de snoot, and then that was it.
Yeah. So yeah, that's why Uriah's message is literally just that sentence: "Do not let Raw find that city."
Don't tell Dad.
Okay, devil's advocate here. Hear me out.
No.
Oh no, I thought about it. Trust me.
We tell, being that Ninurta technically violated it. Do we actually want Raw showing up? Well, it's better to have him on our side than against us.
With the number of NHPs we have, Ra might already know.
That wouldn't actually surprise me.
So far,
like,
none of the HPs seem to be directly connected to Ra.
People keep getting annoyed that we're really, really in touch with Horus, so let's just...
And at least in the stuff I read, I never found any direct interaction between Ra and Horus.
Best I can tell, Horus is one of the fragmented pieces of Ra.
Okay, yeah, possibly.
Because all HPs and HPs are kind of cloned chunks of the original.
Best I can tell, Horus is like one of Ra's pieces that got splintered off.
It's one of the shards.
Yeah. Huh.
Anybody here read any of the Cosmere books?
Doesn't sound familiar.
Okay, it's Brian Sanderson. It's multiple different series is happening within this, and you had in the distant past a bunch of people basically divide a god up, and each of them have a shard of his power.
Okay.
And then each individual series may be dealing with like conflicts amongst those deities, but there's also an overall multiple world conflict they're all in. But the term shard gets thrown around.
Yeah.
That was a very expensive Kickstarter that I managed to resist the temptation to get on. They're doing a Cosmere role-playing game. Well, I knew nobody in our group, our in-person group, read the book except me, so it was one of them
Yeah.
things, $200, and I'd probably never play it.
But man, it would look pretty.
It would. The artwork for it does look pretty awesome. All right, so y'all ship out. Just before you leave, you get a message back from Jellicoe Uriah. Basically, it just says, if you know how to prevent Rob from finding out whatever he wants to find out, Union would be very interested in talking to you about that. But your concern is noted and shared.
That's how you do it. All right.
So you load up in the flyers and you take off. As per usual, as you start getting closer to the border, it starts getting more and more dangerous for the flyers. You start running into more and more interference with your communications. Yeah, it's kind of the standard stuff you've dealt with.
Yeah.
They wind up landing in a clearing that's very familiar to you.
Well, it's probably right outside of Achilles.
Well, it's a day or two's march.
This feels familiar.
Yep.
Yep.
Getting a sudden chance of deja vu.
I just been in this place before.
It's been a little while though.
It's been a while.
There's a few more craters pockmarketing the area. But you guys unload. They unload, the support staff that were being sent along with each other. It's your squad and like multiple vehicles. Ideally, your orders are, try to avoid contact with the enemy before you get to the base. Obviously, that may or may not be completely possible, They don't know of any enemy activity out here.
But at least not in our origin.
Yeah. But communication, once again, communication has gotten spotty with the base. As of 10 hours ago, they know the base was still there and was not directly under assault at the moment. Though they have repelled a direct assault. About the time you were showing back up at your base, Achilles was under assault. That happens periodically. They didn't realize at the time that it was part of this big new push. So I need y'all to pick somebody. Basically, I need one of you to roll.
Yeah.
You're trying to be stealthy.
Yep.
Have the person with physical dice. You're up.
Oh, sure. I guess.
Do you have anything that would help you be stealthy?
I have a little bit in hide. Let me get to the active mode.
Get somewhere quick. Work on it.
Get somewhere quick is not get somewhere stealthy.
I
Cool.
don't have hide. I could have sworn I took it. Oh well. I mean, my mech itself phases in and out.
Yeah, but you're rolling for the entire group.
I see.
This would be more your knowledge of how to move around, kind of stealthy.
Understood.
Making sure people keep radio silent.
Sure. Well, here goes nothing. Okay. 18.
18? Okay. So y'all are following along the road. You're sticking to what were the lesser used, more of the back roads.
Mhm.
Back when this area was more populated. Not that it was ever greatly populated, but there are a few times during the day that you pick up some Shinar radio chatter.
What?
Now, some of it is encrypted. You just recognize it as the band, the frequencies they tend to use.
Mhm.
But with all the interference in the area, it's a bit staticky. You think it may be a little bit off. With multiple mechs in the, I'm gonna call it convoy. Y'all can triangulate a little bit and figure out kind of what direction they're in.
Mhm.
You just want to roll for that, or
You know what? Go ahead.
19?
Yeah, that's pretty good. So yeah, you figure out, anytime that's happened, y'all, you kind of hack fixie types. You immediately just start working together to kind of pinpoint, okay, this group's probably a couple miles over here, so we'll veer a little bit away from them.
Mhm.
Like I said, you maintain radio silence yourself. It's all basically MREs, when y'all camp for the night. No fires to cook on or anything like that.
Mhm.
Though this is the future, y'all probably have battery operated stoves or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something to take all the
Ooh,
fun out of
pizza
camping.
Emery.
Someone just leaves their mech running, cooks the food over the fusion core.
Just cooking
That
it
would
over
pop up as a
nanites.
heat signature.
Mm.
Yeah, but
Who knows?
then about a day and a half into the trip, y'all start picking up some League chatter. And that you can actually listen to because you have the encryption stuff for their basic communication.
Yeah.
And the first one you pick up, it's a patrol.
Mhm.
And it's not casual conversation. It's them. If they think they say something, multiple. They put multiple eyes on it. They're talking about some of the drones, flying around spying. As you get closer, you hear the occasional weapon discharge. They're shooting down drones when they see them.
Mhm.
And then you come into close enough that you detect them, they detect you. And so you immediately see all of them kind of swivel in your direction,
Mhm.
demanding to know who you are. And you have all the proper military codes.
Yeah.
So the captain of this squad, you guys are lucky to have made it this far without running into anybody. We know they've got patrols, swinging out. They've got patrols basically encircling us. But it, he's looking at you. It doesn't look like y'all got into any fights on the way here, though.
No, we didn't do too bad.
Got lucky enough to duck most of it.
Good. Yeah, we've been told there's two more of your squads inbound.
Oh, we're
Balloons, Red
Yeah.
Hands, and the Mad Dogs.
That's the ones.
Yep.
And it's only after this do you think, maybe he's asking some of these questions just to extra confirm who you are.
yeah.
And he gives you what should be a secure route. Yeah, they're patrolling this area. You should be good the rest of the way in. And sure enough, another half day's march or so, and you come over the familiar side of Forward Base Achilles.
Nice.
And you can tell there's been a fight outside recently. There's a little bit of damage to one of the walls. I mean, there was always damage to the walls, but they always look kind of patchwork, even the last time you were here. But this looks fairly recent.
More patchwork than normal.
Or the patches look fresher than normal. And again, when you come within range of the base, they seem to have been expecting you, so undoubtedly the scouts had some way of contacting them. Either managing to punch through the interference, or maybe even just sending a messenger drone back. That is something that has started to develop. Think of it like World War I, where they use the carrier pigeons.
Yeah.
Just they're mechanical. Just birds are fake.
I was about to say drone birds.
More
What
likely
if
than you
flies,
think.
If it flies, it spies. Good Lord, that thing is... That's so stupid. Okay.
That's one that I hope was intentionally stupid.
It was.
Thankfully.
Of course, I would hope that about flat earthers too, but
Yeah.
There's one thing that I say that always ticks him off. Is technically, yeah, the Earth is flat. There's no carbonation in the oceans. It works.
oh, it's really a shame Eric had to go.
The sigh I sowed.
Uriah just suddenly combusted in the middle of the combat.
It's weird.
No, you see the Atlas
Some
walk.
psychic damage.
He steps on an atomic landmine that just blows up his area.
Mm-hmm.
Steps on a Lego.
So big ate his soul because it was heavier than Mott's feather. Something like that.
Who left that mine out? Who did it?
Who knows?
All right. Does anybody remember the commander's name that runs Forward Base Achilles?
No.
No, I do not. It's been a while.
Hold on. I might have actually wrote that down. Hang on.
I know I wrote it down. I just have to. Ooh, okay. That's,
It's like I'm sitting here thinking about it, and I'm like, it's on the tip of my tongue, and I can't remember the freaking name.
Where are my notes? What program that was it?
I have it in my notes somewhere, but I looked all the way back to the vampire game, which was too far.
Staska.
Way too far.
Think back. Mama, I've made Boom Boom too far back.
In my Icons game, I used the Staska token of the day.
Nice.
And I don't think Zach noticed.
I have
Because Zach's in that game.
I have a Basil Focus.
What now?
Focus.
I have a Basil
Bellico,
Focus.
Farley.
Was Focus the one we
Ishmael.
rescued, though?
Basil Focus was the senator dad.
Yeah.
Justin was the son that y'all rescued.
Yes.
Commander Griffin.
There it
Yes,
is.
there he is. Jesse, I believe. Jesse Griffin.
Griffith.
Griffith, yes.
Yeah, the first name. Oh, Griffith, yeah. So Commander Griffith is there to greet you.
Saving. Yeah, I titled that
Private
mission
Ryan.
Saving Private Focus.
Yeah, that's kind of what it was. So as you pull in, the commander is there to greet you in person. Because y'all did do him a great service the last time you were here.
Yeah, we found all the spies in his base.
There were several. It was not a good look for him.
I'm surprised he's still the commander.
He got some of the credit for keeping Justin safe. I mean, yeah, it was a near miss and all that, but this was it was clearly a very carefully thought out, plot to get their hands on Focus, and it didn't work. So,
yeah. And then the player characters showed up.
Yep.
Which on the one hand is good because that means they solved the problem. On the other hand, the problem was in stasis until they arrived.
On the third hand, then they became the problem.
Well, that's just players being players.
That's fair.
Wait. Do it again.
I will do it again.
Jason, did you say it was a 2 days travel from where we dropped off?
I believe so.
So we have 2 days, and then Charlie Wayne's going to come in with the Yahoos. Because you said he was about a couple of days out from getting his cast off. So
well, that means about the time you're arriving is him getting the cast off.
Yeah.
So then he's got to just wait until they ship out some more people.
You assume he'll wait.
Unless he just steals his own mech and goes running across.
I'm just imagining him like flying in with the reinforcements. There's like Ride of the Valkyries blaring out of
No, it's not Ride of the Valkyries. It's Leonard Skinnerd.
Yeah, it's Freebird for sure.
No, it's
I don't know. Immigrant Song would work pretty well too.
Yeah.
You don't even trigger, so he's not even in there. You see there's a mech on a surfboard because Ninurta does the surf.
So anyway, like I said, Commander Griffith is there. Let's see, who would he greet first? Cortev, you're just the closest one getting out of your mech when he walks up.
Cortez's mech is the only one that looks the same, I think.
It's significantly more fused together, but other than that, yes.
No,
and maybe Web.
Ty's looks the same.
Oh yeah.
Ty's
kept the
back
dog.
into dog. But he sees Cortev
Actually,
oozing out of his mech, or however it does it.
Everyone's in the same mech except for Vika, because Uriah's back in the Atlas.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Vika's in White Witch, but Baylor.
White Witch, but beefy.
Well, Cortev will. Commander.
Cortev, he shakes your hand. It's good to see you again. It's unfortunate that you had to come.
What's the situation?
Fairly dire. We're holding out okay here, but they're really pushing in on us, off to either side. Clearly, they're trying to make a big push into League territory.
I see.
And if they get too deep, if they manage to completely encircle the base, we won't be able to hold.
Alrighty.
But they've tried that before, and Achilles always manages to hold out.
Wherever you're sending the Mad Dogs and the Red Hand, send us in an opposite direction so that we have the best coverage.
Yes, the other two squads should be arriving today, and then we will. Well, once they're all here, we'll have a big meeting and we'll sort out what the first problem we'll need y'all to tackle will be. Is it all the same land? Well, actually, never mind. He'd have gotten y'all's names as to who was being sent. So.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah, same Lancers.
You know, as you've been talking, others of you guys have been getting out. He'd probably beeline for Uriah because Uriah did a lot of the figuring stuff, the computer stuff out.
Yeah.
That was the one more or less being the go-between between me and the commander for most of the time. So.
And Uriah, what's Uriah's last name again?
Cohen's.
Right. It's not the Cohen brothers; it's the Cohen siblings. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, when he sees you, he walks over. Mr. Cohen.
Mm-hmm.
Since I don't know if Lancers have specific ranks.
It's Lancer.
Is it Lancer Cohen then?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Welcome back to the base.
What do you need?
You to blow a lot of stuff up, but not right this moment.
Uh-huh.
Just thought I'd come by and welcome you back to the base. It was so eventful last time you were here. And you did us so much good. I'm really hoping you can do that again this time.
I can certainly try.
Yeah, the gang's all here.
Yep.
Except for Lancer, Melody, and Andre. Though they should be coming in with the Red Hands.
Yeah. Last we heard, they were with the Mad Dogs.
Oh, Mad Dogs, that's right.
Yeah.
Hopefully this time it'll be more military and less cloak and dagger, though.
I guess we'll see.
Yep.
Ty, look at the commander. It's like, do you need Uriah to look at your communications again?
Already on it.
Because of course you are.
He is welcome to. We have beefed up our security in that regard.
Do you want me to do a hack fix roll?
Are you going to try to hack through their stuff?
Yeah, he says that. And Uriah's like, basically like, all right, bet.
Ty will assist. Because yay, data plating.
27.
Yeah.
When you say bet, he's like, all right.
You did say you'd beef it up, sir. So it was kind of a challenge.
20 drachma. I'll bet you 20 drachma. Which is about the equivalent of 10 modern day dollars.
Mm.
You know, clearly.
$10, 10 bucks.
He has no great faith.
Yeah.
Yeah, $10 is $10.
Does he get in?
Let's see. I suppose that should be an opposed roll.
All right.
They know what they're doing. So I'd say they have the equivalent of about yay much grit. Advantage because it's their systems. Yeah, it goes up +2. So 7 plus what I roll.
Pause for dramatic effect.
And inside deeply, if the d20 comes up a 2.
Oh.
You got the guy that was protecting it like right as he was in the middle of his lunch break, and he's like, "Ah, shit!" Like trying to wipe sub sauce off his hands and everything.
So you can tell they have beefed the security up. And like, it's not like you sit there and in 5 minutes you've gotten through.
Yeah.
You're working at it while the commander goes around and greets everybody else. And he does. He goes by. He shakes everybody's hand. He calls you all by name. He does keep glancing over at Uriah.
And Freddy's actually looking at the walls and defenses and figuring out ways they might be improved. I'm looking at invent create in this instance.
Okay. You go ahead and give me a roll on it.
16.
All right, it's bad. So you rattle a few ideas off to the commander. And he actually, as you're doing it, he starts taking notes and sending it off to the appropriate people.
Just imagine when. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just imagine when Uriah and Ty get in, they just fist bump.
But yeah, he starts sending that off. And some of it might be more long term than they can do here, though they do have printers here, so they can create some stuff that they need.
Vika will offer to do any kind of beefing up too, because one of her new mech skills is Total Strength Suite, where she can use the actual environment to make hardcover spots.
He will take you up on that, and not necessarily working on the base itself as far as like because this is like a big techno fort sort of thing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But
outside.
Yeah, going outside and building up earthworks and stuff, since they are facing direct assault. And 15, maybe 20 minutes later, you're in.
Okay.
You can tell they've significantly beefed up defenses, but
yeah.
But ultimately, the password was the same password with the number at the end changed.
Being in IT, that hurts me, Jason.
Search your feelings, though. You know it to be true.
I know it to be true because literally, I'll have someone come in and be like, "Here's my password."
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Uriah's in, and he'll just go, not bad.
The general walks over, looks at the work you've done. Pulls out the little clip that controls his money. It's more like a little, little phone size thing.
Don't worry.
There's a little bing as you see your account has been credited 10.
Also,
or 20
Commander, you really might want to change that password.
Password
I'll make a note of it.
2456.
Well, it was a more complex password than that, but it was just the one number at the end is the only thing that had changed since the last time Uriah was here.
And what Uriah will do is he will ping like a private PM to the commander, and it's literally like a 64 thing long, hexadecimal password. It's basically a security code, but because IT, it's an entire ass sentence that's nonsensical with spaces and characters and numbers and various different uppercase, lowercase.
Use this meme.
Can still be read as a whole sentence, but it's nonsensical.
I'm trying to remember which of the big cybersecurity guys it is that they have a wall of lava lamps that their computers look at in some kind of way. They use the patterns the lava lamps are making to generate their.
Like they're using Microsoft Hello, and it's looking at the lava lamps as like a face or something.
I don't know how they had it set up. It was something I saw the other day.
I think it's based on the actual. They use the image because since the image is constantly shifting, it can't be reproduced.
Mm.
Yeah, it's something where it's weird, but you can kind of see how that'd be hard to get around.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember getting told at one point that when you do set a password don't like have an entire like just one long word or with the underscores. You want to have spaces because when things are getting there like cycling through letters, the space freaks it out and it has to restart. So it takes a lot longer for like someone to try to brute force their way through a password.
Okay. Yeah. So over the next few hours, Rika, you're out helping create earthworks, or whatever else you think of.
Ty's helping with any medical needs.
Okay, you go see what you can do with the which probably comes down to like the support crew that shows up. Probably showed up with lots of supplies. So part of that may be Tiana over there helping organize the supplies.
Yeah, that's fine.
Helping them pack stuff up.
Some of the earthworks may look like sandcastles.
There has to be a rubber duck. There's a rubber duck somewhere.
Just for the whimsy of it.
One is a goose.
Only when they go to kick the sandcastle, it's like one of those sandcastles when you build it over top the cement pylon.
Oh, landmine underneath
Kick
there.
that one over. Uriah, the commander, takes you with him to go chew out the tech guys.
Mm-hmm.
And you see a couple of them, when the door opens and the commander steps through with you right behind him, a couple of the guys that were here the last time you were here, look. One of them immediately starts going in and trying to check, figure out what you did.
Like Uriah will actually give like a very lengthy, basically lecture on IT and cybersecurity, and
there's a PowerPoint.
How you stop cybercrime.
Well, that's the thing. Like with SSC, like their whole like shtick, like the Congress is basically an entire like VTuber digital realm.
Because
that has NHPs as security guards, basically.
Largely because they had a home planet, and well, it's still there. Just
they glassed it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Jeremy, what would Cortev do over the next couple of hours?
I think he would also try to assist, but I think he's more in this mech more suited for like scouting ahead and like showing or alerting the League forces to new threats as they come.
Okay.
So instead of like building walls, he's just like making sure, hey, there's people coming this way, people coming that way. Let's get some defenses over here. Being able to phase between, places.
In logistics.
Yeah. Give me 1 sec. I gotta charge my headset.
All right, and
Freddie, I can hear you.
Just, and Freddie, Patrick, we're about to wrap up.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what would Freddie spend the next couple hours doing?
Starting up that. He would probably examine, look through the history of the, essentially do like a summary of the old, basically how they've attacked the base in the past.
Okay.
And a means of trying to predict their possible assaults coming up.
Okay. So you're looking at how they've been hitting the place.
Yeah.
How it differs from how they've done it before, how it's similar to how they've done it before, trying to pick out patterns and common tactics.
Yeah.
Okay.
I need a roll or
remind me at the beginning of next session, and we'll roll it almost like a downtime.
Okay.
And that might give you a reserve to help, win it if you'll have to defend the base. So anyway, like I said, y'all are working for a couple of hours. The Mad Dogs and the Red Hands show up. Oh, that means I got to come up with the Red Hands by next week.
Mm-hmm.
You did this to yourself, buddy.
I did.
You did.
Nika will pass on the message from Charlie to the Mad Dogs for him.
Yeah. So they show up, they get packed away. You see them, You see, you know, Esther. Well, you see the squad come walking out. You notice Esther and Aubrey are walking close together. Smokes is, of course, lighting up as he comes out.
Just gonna just salute Aubrey.
He ignores you. Very,
Good.
very obviously and pointedly just ignores you.
That means he didn't ignore me.
You know, and once they're there, the commander, you know, the commander gives them an hour to go freshen up or whatever. You know, and then they'll have a meeting. So any of y'all that are working in the base or outside the base gets called back in. Within the hour, y'all are all seated in the big kind of command center meeting room.
It's like the Death Star meeting room.
Kind of. It's not crowded with all of you in there. But it's approaching full with that many people crammed in there at one time. And that's where we're at today, and we will start up next week with the meeting.
Oh, yeah.
And what exactly is it? It is they need you to do right this moment.
All right.
Hope y'all enjoyed it tonight. I had fun. Anytime I get to play Charlie Wayne that much. Hope anybody that came by and watched or comes by and watches the replay later. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you join us next week. Again, I was your storyteller for the evening, Jason. And with me has been Sarah playing Vika.
I'm waving.
Patrick playing Freddy. Eric playing Uriah. Jeremy playing Cortev. And Cara playing Tiana. And we will see y'all next week.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one.